Many challenges that students face when they decide to study abroad or even arriving in Canada. This could be finding a program, choosing the right province, finding a job, language barrier, or even making friends. In this video, we'll give you or explore some of the most common challenges that students experience in Canada and give you some tips on how to overcome them. And I hope this information will be helpful as soon as you pursue your education abroad.
On this edition of The Fifth Estate, how far are international students willing to go to get an education in Canada?
The average Punjabi family will have to work 74 years to pay 1 year's of tuition.
There are many students who choose to study abroad in order for them to get better education. However, there are several things that you need to consider before making that decision. And number one is being financially stable. Oftentimes, some students will ask me about, hey MC, can I get a loan? Can I sell my property back home so that I can study abroad? Or, MC, can you lend me some money? These are the questions that are a big red flag for me. I can clearly see that the student is not yet eligible to study abroad because as an international student, you need to support yourselves financially as soon as you arrive in Canada. You just don't show your bank account because you have to spend that money here to pay or to cover your cost of living, tuition fee, your books, transportation. There are a lot of, expenses that you have to be prepared for. So sometimes I have to tell the student, you know what, why don't you work a little bit longer and save up for your education? And that's the exact reason why I made a lot of videos about proof of funds so that you're well informed, so that you know that this is one of the most important pieces that you have to meet as soon as you decide to study abroad.
Teachers tell us some students show up to class in Canada unable to speak English.
Thinking about the students who would be talking during class, and it took us a while to figure out they were translating for each other. So then I thought, okay, so let me make little groups of 4 and let me get somebody who's really strong in English and make sure they can translate for the people who aren't. But it took a while to notice that that's what was happening.
International student is also required to speak in English. Most of the coursework in Canada is in English. You have to talk to other students as well because you have group work. So the problem that we are facing right now, some students are really good in taking IELTS examination, but once they're out there, they couldn't speak, they cannot engage, they couldn't adapt to those students or to the new culture. You know what, when I came here, I don't speak like this. I'm always afraid to be judged and make mistakes. Until now, I always make mistakes. But you know what, I really focus on improving myself, and also I watch news, I read books, I also learn new things here in Canada so that, when you talk to Canadians, you have something in common, common interest that you can talk about so that you build that relationship with them, and also it's easier for you to make new friends. Next one that most people don't talk about is the schools in Canada.
These international students came to Canada full of hope. They were lured here with the promise of a better future, sold a second-rate school experience.
We come from our country to here with lots of dreams, with lots of hope. Like we think that college is our family. If college don't think about us, then whole thing.
And they want Canadians to know their story.
Private schools have lesser tuition fee. However, you have to be careful because some of them are not accredited. For publicly funded school, on the other hand, they have strict policies when it comes to choosing quality students. However, there's a big caveat there because not all of them are strict.
They're doing everything they can to find more ways to bring in more students their lobby is more students, more students, more students, whether it is increasing class sizes, whether it is irresponsibly bringing in students that they don't have enough support to offer. I mean, it doesn't matter. What matters is numbers, right? So that's the...
So some schools can release a lot of acceptance in less than a day. And that actually gave me a red flag, because did you really assess the student? So most of the schools here in Canada takes 4 to 12 weeks to assess you. So you have to be careful if the school is focused on numbers or quality students. And also, as a school, do you have diverse students inside the campus? Because you don't want to have a bunch of Indians or Filipinos in the same class. You want to experience diverse culture in your student experience in Canada.
If you haven't heard of Alpha College either, this could be why. It's a small career college located in the outskirts of Toronto. 100% of its students are international, 99% from India.
In India.
Ravi Lokan Singh runs a global student recruitment company. He's one of the good guys. He says many aren't.
And I don't want to call them education agents at all, because I don't think they are promoting education. I think they are just promoting a way to reach Canada.
For some students, it is important for them to have an agent because they want someone who can help them when it comes to choosing the program, province, and also career. So if you don't have time, sometimes you need to have an agent. But you have to be careful because some agents are scammies. Or, sorry for my language, but some agents don't give a shit about your future. So you have to do your own research here if the agent has the reputation and also have the best interests at heart.
So they manage.
Just ask Dilpreet Kaur. An advisor urged her to enroll in a college she'd never heard of and knew nothing about.
I don't know why he just suggested me this college that I'm having right now. So they were like, okay, you have this college, get this. So
Which college is that?
it's Alpha College, St. Lawrence Alpha College. So I'm currently in 2nd semester there.
You need to watch out for this. You need to double check if the agent has the knowledge of helping students, because some are not familiar. They focus on permanent residency or they focus on work permit. So you have to double check if they're really knowledgeable. How would you double check? Attend as many free webinars as possible. You can clearly see there that they are knowledgeable helping international students. Another one that I want you to double check is the review testimonials. Do they have the experience of sending students to Canada? And also double check the specialization. Do they specialize in Canada, New Zealand, UK, the US? Because you want to go to an agent that will help you fly to Canada, not the US, because it's a different policy in the US or in the UK. So choose the one that has a specialization. And for example, in SLE, we help students that have experience in nursing, IT, engineering, teachers. Those are the people that we mostly help. Mature students, basically. So when you're choosing an agent, make sure that they have a specialization. And one thing that you also have to double check, are they also focusing on numbers? Are they assessing you, or they just give you a letter of acceptance without asking your proof of funds? So those are the things that I want you to watch out when you're choosing an agent.
She tells her parents about her life in Canada, living with 7 strangers, working overnight shifts to pay her way. But after investing all this money, they tell her there's no turning back now.
I can't live without my father. It is my first experience. Even when I went to my uncle and aunt's house, and I called my father and again that, can you please come? Can you please come? Bring me at home.
What did your father say to you when you told him that?
He told me that you should you're a brave girl.
Each student in Canada, they experience a different kind of challenge. Could be job, could be language barrier, but for some people, it's hard for them to adapt to a new culture, to a new environment. They feel isolated, they feel alone in this journey. And most mature students, it's difficult for them to go back to school. And all of these reasons sometimes affect you mentally, and that leads you to burnout. And as a result, international student needs a strong support system. This could be your friends, your family, your mentor, or even a community that will deeply understand what you've been through. These people can give you advice and guidance based on their experience on how to navigate these challenges and how to overcome it. If we have strong and safe support system in place, international students can enjoy a successful and rewarding experience in Canada. And that's why I truly believe in mentorship, because this will not only help you in your initial phase, it will also help you once you arrive in Canada. You need support system because once you're here, that's where reality sinks in. And if you're going through a lot lately, I want you to comment below. And I want you to know that your feeling right now is valid and you are not alone. It can be challenging. But you know what? Studying abroad can give you an incredible experience. And if you are prepared for this challenge, it can open up a world of opportunities. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.